Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Sichamba Jacob. Alright, so I've got a question with me. This question came in 2023 GCE mathematics, and it's question 10. So you have to know or keep in your mind that a cubic function is one of the key topics when it comes to linear programming. Alright, so this question here reads, the values of x and y are connected by the equation y is equal to x power 3 minus 9x plus 5. Some of the corresponding values of x and y are given in the table below. So now let's check the table. Then when you look at the table nicely, we've got the x values and the y values. So you can see for the x values, we've got negative 3.5, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, negative 0, and so on and so forth. So without wasting our time, the first question here, they're saying calculate the value of q. Now to calculate the value of q, we're going to check on the given table where q is. So where q is there, you can see we've got a q, and on top of q there is a number, and that is a negative 2. Hopefully you can see that negative 2. So our job will be to get the given equation. So get the equation there, that is y is equal to x power 3 minus 9x plus a 5. So when you get this equation, get this value of x. We know that the value of x is what? Is a 2. You substitute it where x is. So you're going to have y is equal to, open bracket, negative 2 power 3. So always when the number has got a negative sign, remember to put it inside the brackets. Minus 9, open bracket, negative 2 plus a 5. So wherever x is, we substitute a negative 2. And when we do our calculations, we're going to get the value of y to be equal to what? To be equal to 15. That is when we get, or when we do our calculations properly. So if you don't mind, if you don't want to waste much of your time, you can just get your calculator. There's no problem. Get your calculator and then start punching what you're able to see here. So say negative 2. So start with the brackets, open bracket, negative 2 power 3 plus. Okay, so here we shall say plus, is it minus? Minus 9, open bracket, negative 2, close, plus a 5. So you see what I have here is the same as what we have right here. So you just say equal to. It will give you the answer, which is a 15. So without wasting that much time of doing all these calculations, just get your calculator and punch what I've just shown you. And then after doing that, you write, this is question 10. So indicate question number 10. Okay. Okay, question number 10, A1. So Q is equal to a 15. So the value of y, I know we calculated for y here. The value of y is a 15. So the moment you do this, just be assured that you've calculated or you found the value of q. So the value of y is the value of what? Of q. That's all. So for question number 2, they've given us a scale. Okay, they've given us a statement and the scale. So they have said 2 centimeters. So you see, that is 2 centimeters to represent what? To represent 1 unit. This is important, to represent 1 unit on the x-axis, and 2 centimeters to represent 5 units on the y-axis. For the scale, I'm just getting the data which is, or the points which are important to just help us understand. For the scale, negative 4 is less or equal to x less or equal to a 4. And then here they've said that negative 10 is less or equal to a y less or equal to a 20. So this scale is important, meaning on our x-axis, it's 1 unit. Look at this, it's 1 unit. So you'll be moving in ones. So it will be like this. From negative 4, you go to negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are following this scale. So start from negative 4, which is here, end at a 4, which is right here. That is on the x-axis. And in case you don't know the x-axis just move the line which it moves horizontally like this. This is x-axis. And then for the y-axis, it's supposed to be like this. This is the y-axis. This is what you have to know. So we are moving in ones on the x-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So that's how you do the scale. And then for this one, it's for the y-axis. It's going up and down. So from the bottom, the negative, it's supposed to end at what? At a negative what? Negative 10. And then here it's negative 1. Here it's, negative 5. Here it's 0. And then to the positive, we go up to 20. And then for the y-axis, we are moving in 5s. So the number which is mentioned here, like 1 unit, must be the first number. You are moving in ones. Since here 5 was mentioned on the y-axis, we are moving in 5. So it's supposed to be 5, 10, 15, up to 20. So we are moving in 5s, okay? Up to what? To 20. This is for y-axis, this is for x-axis. So let's put this information on our graph paper. So we are moving in ones on the x-axis. So for cubic function, I advise you to put your graph somewhere here on the middle. Okay, so you can even count. So if this is my middle, so I'm supposed to be moving in ones. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll put it here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, this is where I'll put it. So I'll do this. I'll do this. So follow me nicely. We need to do this together. So this is my y-axis. Okay? And I know that y-axis are moving in 5s. So this is 0. So it's supposed to be 2 centimeters. So 2 centimeters is from here to this. You see these bigger boxes? These bigger boxes, they are 2 centimeters. So from here to here, it's 2 centimeters. And they have said I'm supposed to be moving in 5. So 5 units. So 5. And then here, 10. So from 10, if I'm moving in 5s from 10, I'll go to 15. And then lastly, I'll go to 20, like that. To the negative side, it will be negative 5, negative 10. That's where the scale is ending. It's ending at negative 10. To the x-axis, I know that I'm supposed to end at 5. At 4. So I'll do this. I'll do my line from here all the way up to there. And then I join it again, following the scale. This is how it's supposed to be. Don't mind my drawing, okay? And remember that you're supposed to use a pencil, not a pen. A pencil when doing this. So this is 1 unit. 2, we are moving in ones. 3 and 4. We go to the negative, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. Okay? So once we do this, we now start plotting. So now let me show you how it goes with plotting. So with plotting, you can see the table. Let's look at the table. Can you see on top there is x and y? Can you see on the table there's x and y? The numbers on top, they are representing the x-axis, while the numbers below, they are representing the y-axis. So we start with negative 3. You can see, I hope you're able to see negative 3.5. So let me write the coordinates the way we write them. So we've got The first point is negative 3. Can you see negative 3 under x-axis? So that is negative 3, comma, negative 6.4. Like that. Can you see this? So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Negative 3.5, comma, negative 6.4. So my understanding will be this, is to understand what each line means. What does each line here mean? So look at this. If this is 5, you see the number which is here. This is 5. So since this is 5, I want to understand what this smaller line, what number is supposed to be here? What number is supposed to be here? So there are 10 lines from here to here. I'm just going to say 5 divided by 10. 5 divided by 10 is 0.5. Look at this. So you get this number, whichever number is starting here, we want to understand on our y-axis. So this number, which is a 5. So I'm going to say 5, the number which is here, divide by the number of lines, these smaller lines, there are 10 of them. So 5 divided by 10, it's giving me a 0.5. So meaning each line here is a 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, just like that. So I know that on my y-axis, each line is 0.5. What about on my x-axis? I'm going to get this number here, which is a 1. So 1 divided by 10, it's giving me a 0.1. So each line is 0.1. So this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1, 1.1, and so on and so forth. So now, since I have the point I want to plot is this one. It's a negative 3.5 on the x-axis. So I'll go to the x-axis here, to the negative side on the x-axis. Negative 3 is right here. So this is 0.1, 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and negative 4. I want negative 3.5. It will just be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. The point will be right somewhere here for the x-axis. So I know that it's here for the x-axis. For the y-axis, I want where negative 6.4, you see? Negative 6.4. So for the y-axis, this is negative 5. Negative 5.5, 0.6, okay? 6.5, and I want a 4. I want 6.4, but this is 6.5. So I'll just move a little bit before 6.5, because if we follow this line, I know that 3.5, negative 3.5 is this line here. 5.5, 6 is here, 6.5. So meaning my point will be somewhere here. So in case you don't know how to plot, please take your time. So this is where the point will be. And when I do that one, I now go to the next point, which is negative 3.5. This will be easier. Negative 3 here, positive 5 is here. So negative 3.5, it will be here. This is negative 3.5. The next one, it's negative 2, q. And the value of q, we know that it's a 15. So I'll say negative 2 is right here. 15 is here. Where they are meeting, it's right over here. Okay, the next one is negative 1, 13. Negative 1 is right here. So this is 10, 10.5, 11, 11.5, 12, 12.5, 13. So 13 is right over here. Let me go through 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's right over here. This is where the point is. The next one, it's 0.5. So 0.5, it's right over here. The next one is 1, negative 3. 1, negative 3. So negative 3 is supposed to be, this is negative 1, negative 1 here, negative 2, negative 3. It's right over here. Okay. The next one is 2, negative 5. So this is 2, negative 5. It's supposed to be right over here. The next one is 2.5, negative 1.9. So 2.5. So this is 2.5. It's here. Okay, you see 2.5 is supposed to be here. then negative 1 comma 9. So negative 1 here comma 9 supposed to be somewhere here. This is 5. It's supposed to be here. Yeah, here. So just keep on counting the number and just understand it, how to find the value of each line, these smaller lines. It will be easier for you to plot. The next one is a 3,5. So 3,5, it's supposed to be here. Next one, it's a 3.5, 16.4. So 3.5, it's automatically supposed to be right here. And then this is 15, 16.4. 54 is supposed to be right over here. So I've identified the points. My job now is just to join these points. So I'll move like that. So that is it. Remember, you're supposed to use a pencil, but I just want you to understand. There we go. We are going like that. We are going like that. We are going like that. So this is our graph. So a graph must be nicely plotted. So this is my graph. You even indicate, don't forget to indicate that this is y is equal to x power 3 minus 9x plus a 4. You indicate, okay? So we've done the graphing or the plotting. We now go to solving. So for solving, there are two equations that we need to solve. There's equation A and equation B. So for equation A, they have said x power 3 minus 9x plus a 4 is equal to a 0. So solving this one, you're just going to say y is equal to a 0. So y, all this thing, look at this. Let me show you something. Look at this. We said y is equal to x power 3 minus 4x plus a 4. And this is what they've given us. If you can see, this and this are the same, but this side there is a y. So ourselves, we're going to make all this thing, or we just say all this thing is equal to y. So we shall say y is equal to a 0. And then we plot this. So plot this, or graph this, y is equal to 0. So when you go to the y-axis, this is the y-axis, where 0 is right here. You do a line. So this is y is equal to what? To a 0. The x-axis is sometimes, or is also a y equal to 0 equation. So this is y is equal to 0. So we don't need to stress ourselves here because the equation has already been done for us. So our job here will just be to check where this line is meeting the graph. It's at this point, and at this point. So this is where they are meeting the graph, and the y is equal to 0, they are meeting right here. So we can say question 2, I'll write it down here. Question 2, is it question 3? Question 3. Question 3a, x is equal to, what is the value of x here? This is 3.1.2.3. So the value of x is a 3.3, actually negative 3.3. The other value of x, you come here, this is 0.1.2.3.4.5.6. That is 0.6. So that's the other value of x. Lastly, so you get all the points where the graph is meeting this equation, y is equal to 0. So this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. So the other value is x is equal to 2.6. So if you don't get the same answers, since the graph is different, if you didn't get the same answers, at least you can get negative 3, comma 2, you can still be marked, or negative 3.2 or negative 3.4, you can still be marked. Even for this one, something that is closer to the actual solution, you'll still be marked. So it's possible that you can get a different answer, which I've gotten, not the actual answer. But if you get the answer that is far away from the actual solution, you'll be marked wrong. So for question B, they want us to solve this equation. So the equation which they want us to solve is x power 3 minus 9x plus a 4 is equal to negative 3x plus a 6. So what we're going to do here, the same we did, we're going to say y is equal to negative 3x plus a 6. Now we're going to plot this. Now in plotting this equation or graphing this equation, we're just going to say y is equal to a 6. So meaning we shall say x is equal to 0. So hide here, x is equal to 0. What will be y? Y will be equal to a 6. So go to where 6 is on the y-axis. Since this is 5, 6 automatically must be here. Okay, this is where 6 is. So we find the other point. For the other point, since we said x is equal to 0 and we solved, we found the value of y to be equal to a 6. We're going to say y is equal to 0. We've got y is equal to negative 3x plus a 6. So we shall say y is equal to 0, meaning it will be like this. So solve for x. So when solving for x, it will be like this. So x will be equal to what? X will be equal to 2, because 3 into 6, it's a 2. This is the value of x. So go to where 2 is on the x-axis. It's right here. This is where the line will pass. So now that we've got 2 points, so we can now join these 2 points. And this is how it's going to look like. It's passing here at 2 and at 6 here. So make sure you do it properly so that you don't get wrong answers. So let it cut the graph. You see the way it is? So this is cutting the graph at this point, okay? And also at this point. Lastly, at this point. So this is y is equal to negative 3x plus a 6. So once you do that, you now start getting the x-axis. Look here. When you look at this, what is the x-axis here? Straight with a point. This is 2, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. So x is equal to a 2.5. That's one of the solutions. The other solution, x is equal to, you come here where this graph, this line and the graph are meeting. It's right here. So this straight, when you look nicely straight, it's at this point. This is negative 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So negative 0.3. You also come to this point where they're meeting. It's right over here. This is x is equal to negative 2.2. So these are the solutions for the 2 equations. This is how we're supposed to answer this question. Thank you so much. Hopefully you've learned 1 or 2 things out of this. Please remember to share the video. This has been Isichamba Jacob, and bye-bye.